Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily, Money Motivation. Let's crack on with a brand new week. Really look forward to it and look forward to the next couple. Of course, the festive period and the new year, and attack it all with that vigour we've attacked everything so far this year. That's what we've done, haven't we? We've had to do it. We've been put in a position where we've had to come out fighting a little bit. Of course, COVID has restricted us on so many different things. But we're still here, aren't we? For all those bad days, for all those disappointments, we've still got plenty to look forward to. We've still got plenty to go at. Through DOdaily, of course, we've got our 7-day plan to restart, give another go, throw ourselves into, get the benefits of taking part in an activity, within a community, and around people, around support and encouragement. That really makes a difference, and that's what DOdaily is all about. Especially on a Monday, it's about planning, preparing, getting on top of things, giving it a real go, looking forward to what we can still do, and all those things that are still happening around us and will be happening for as long as we can see in the future. The weekend, it was great. Really enjoyed the weekend. It's one of those where, because of lockdown, because of restrictions, I can't do too much. Managed to get out for plenty of activity. Got to see one or two friends that arranged to meet, socially distanced and safe, of course. But what a difference that makes just by getting out in the daylight. Today, as you can see, it's still pretty light behind me. It's getting dark now. It's getting dull. I'm down by the river. I found a lovely little spot to do the video. But it was important for me to get out again during the daylight, particularly blue sky today, and an amazing sunset that was worth getting out for alone. Got a picture of that. I'll post that at the end, to close off with. And just those little things, the daylight and the sunset, makes such a difference to my day. It would just be another one of those days of doing the things I've got to do, do my work, replying to emails, having my lunch, but what I can do is get out and enjoy some activity, listen to podcasts, listen to things through my phone, things I really enjoy doing, and also get in that all-important activity. I'm in the middle of a 5-mile-ish walk, and I'm in the middle because I've literally just turned back. So it's important for me to do that, because, to be honest, today it could have been a lot worse. I sort of opened my emails, got one or two things that was not in the plan. A couple of things that needed sorting quickly, that I need to think about over the next couple of weeks. And sort of figure out how I'm going to take that forward. But I could have let that get to me. But I've learned through the time I've been doing DOdaily, through talking to you guys, have that little bit of resilience. If I have that, I get through situations. It was much documented a couple of months ago. Me and Kay found ourselves in a tricky situation with where we lived, in our work situations, but we stood firm. We tackled it head on. We didn't cave in, and ultimately we came out in a better situation. So hopefully through these little hiccups today, I can attack them strong, keep doing the things I do, keep being positive, keep getting out, keep getting them endorphins flowing, and really attack it. And ultimately, it should end up a little bit better than it is now. And that's all we're trying to do, isn't it? It's just make things that little bit better for ourselves. Whilst COVID can get to us, it can get us down, we can still do things. We can still make the most. Meeting people, like I say at the weekend, it's just fantastic, because it's something I possibly wouldn't have done pre-COVID. So to arrange to meet people at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning to walk, I was invited onto another sort of YouTube channel to speak about my passion, football, and that was fantastic as well. And I got to meet a few guys there, and I got talking about what I'm doing here, took some advice in terms of sticking with it and giving it a real go, and planning how I can make it better in the future. And all that was so important, So whilst I could beat myself up about not being able to go to the football, the actual result of the football was disappointing. We won't talk about that, but it'd be easy to get down about that, and then compounded by said emails and having to deal with those this morning. It could easily be a bit of a disaster, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. We've got lots to look forward to. Of course, I get out today. I always make sure I'm getting plenty of activity on a Monday. I always say attack the week. Never miss a Monday. It's so important to get out there, whether it's for a walk, a run, a cycle, anything, just to get out. It makes so much difference, especially in that daylight. There's a lot of talk at the moment about sort of fending off illness and fending off COVID. I think one of the biggest things we can do, I've mentioned this a couple of times, is just keep making the most of the daylight wherever we can. So even if it's just getting out for half an hour at lunchtime, just going to sit on a bench and eat your lunch outside. It is cold, you will have to wrap up, but it's so important, because building out immunity to such things, getting in that vitamin D is so important. We might struggle to find it elsewhere during the winter. I read something just today about, at the moment, Sweden's really suffering, and there's various reasons behind that. Various decisions have been taken, but there's also only 6 hours of daylight, which is difficult. If I can imagine, some of us in the UK, in this country, get sort of a bit wound up with the winter and can get down when the clocks change. So imagine that, just 6 hours, and I know in some parts of the world it's even worse than that. So it's so important to keep getting out there and getting in that activity, and that's what Mondays are all about, just to get people going. Of course, tomorrow we've got the solidarity session. I spoke a lot last week about sort of getting involved, throwing yourself into things, being part of the community. Of course, whilst that's the wider subject anyway, that's what we're trying to attract. I made a real sort of go at that. It was the Rainbow Laces campaign, and I think one of the big things I try to do is make things inclusive, make things available to absolutely everybody. It's not easy all the time to do that. It's not easy sort of coming up with the ideas, making it open. There's all sorts of barriers in the way, but the one thing I refuse to do is exclude anybody. So if I can do little things, like create yourself a little challenge just to sort of use on my Instagram in terms of wearing a different t-shirt every day, encourage other people to do similar things, just to be sort of mindful of what's happening out there. There's a lot about sort of inclusion and the way different people have different beliefs and different thoughts on different things. It's a tough subject, as you can see, where people discriminate. There's a lot of discrimination. There's a lot of people having a pop at each other for no reason other than their beliefs, and that's not really on, is it? That's not the point. So what I try to do is keep welcoming people in, and one of the great ways of doing that, I find, is through the solidarity session. People can get involved at the same time, 6:30, but have that comfort blanket of doing it in their own space, just looking in, just watching what we do. But if it just inspires one person to get out and get active, that's the real point, isn't it? It inspires a lot more than that. Lots of taking it on and doing so well with it. Of course, we've got Wednesday workout, where I try to check in for a bit of midweek motivation. Normally we'd have a challenge, but at the moment we're sort of plundering through this monthly challenge, sort of Advent challenge. 25 days up until Christmas. I've asked the guys to go out and do at least 1 mile, whatever they can. Lots are hard at it, lots are giving it a real go, and that's brilliant to see, isn't it? Because it's about a little bit of determination, a little bit of dedication and commitment sometimes, and they're showing plenty of that. They're doing what they have to do. They're being epic in the meantime, and they're getting all those benefits for themselves. Lots of good feeling about that challenge. Lots to look at and lots to be proud of. So I'm really pleased with that. Thursday thoughts. I'll be live answering your questions. Really enjoyed that last week. A good session. Some great questions posted in the comments. Please keep doing that. Post it in the comments to any of the videos or any of the social media. I'll look to answer those the best I can. It's just little bits of advice, a few tips on how I get it right and wrong. There's no rocket science behind this. It's just me passing on a bit of information. I've mentioned a couple of times already, part of my sort of routine when I go out walking is to listen to what other people have got to say. I took advice on Saturday. I sat down for an hour with somebody who'd recently started a YouTube channel themselves. Do you know, whilst a lot of people might mock what I'm trying to do here, I'm not perfect. I keep getting it wrong, but I tell you, for every fuck up, I'm probably getting better, aren't I? Do you know, I'll learn from every single one, and something we can take into life a little bit, isn't it? We can remember that from every mistake we make, we can move forward. And I'll make plenty of those, but what I can do is pass on information about when I have and how it's worked for me and how it hasn't. You know, whilst I'm no Olympic athlete, I know plenty about running. I've been doing it for a long time now, you know, and I know what works and what doesn't, whether I always heed my own advice. You know, that's another matter. You know, I have my ups and downs just as much as anyone. And I spoke a little bit last week about mental health as well, and how much sometimes I've been restrained myself in mentioning the subject. You know, whilst we do sort of skirt around it, I didn't want to use a strength of the word, but I've almost felt that I need to use that a bit more. It's something we shouldn't be ashamed of. Do you know, mental health is so important, and it's so important to what I do here. Do you know, it's all to help. It's all to get people through. I was in a situation where I was struggling, so taking up the activity, taking up the running, talking a lot, getting all that support really dragged me through. Gave me a purpose now. It's given me that purpose to want to make a difference, and that's what I'm here to do. So don't intend on going anywhere. So for all the knockers, for all the people who don't quite understand it, tough. I'm here to stay. I'm here to talk about mental health, physical activity, and try and promote both in a positive manner. So like I say, if you've got any questions, post them in. Last week, every week I've put back a throwback question to you guys, looking for some content to work off. Last week it was about food and how we can what we tend to eat at Christmas, what we allow ourselves a little treat, because it's all about that as well, isn't it? For all the hard work, for the things we do to be healthy and well, do you know, a little treat here and there doesn't go amiss. Do you know, and if it is a couple of weeks over Christmas, then so be it. Do you know, we've always got that opportunity in the new year to give it a real go, do you know, and to focus our mind again. Do you know, if we're too focused sometimes, we lose track of reality. So all of that, do you know, all of what I've just said, it sort of stems out of my honesty and trying to be relatable in passing on that message that we all suffer these things the same. So please do drop those questions about absolutely anything. Of course, Christmas is coming, about Christmas, about motivation, about activity, you know, about my opinions on this, that or the other. I'm more than happy to answer those. And then on Friday we've got Wake Up to Walk, another one of my absolute favourite times to be out and about. Do you know, first thing Friday morning, I was out. It was still dark last week. I was in a park just outside Nottingham city centre, the Arboretum. Really enjoyed making that video, and you could really see my enthusiasm. Of course, I'm my biggest self-critic, you know, in doing this. So just watching that, you know, just being in that environment, learning about what I was doing, you know, reading up on the place, the fact it's just outside Nottingham city centre, you know, somewhere where I really wanted to get to, really made a difference. I attacked the day the way I wanted to, and you know, it's put me in good stead for the rest of the weekend. And that's what we're all about. We finished on a Saturday with your Saturday selfies. If I'm inspired by anything during the Wake Up to Walk, I tend to use that as a theme. But other than that, just post your pictures in, whatever activity you're doing. And every single one of those, every single day is about inspiring and motivating people to get the absolute most from what they're doing. Do you know, there's a lot to sort of concern us, but there's a lot to look forward to. Christmas is coming, guys, you know, it's next week. That's absolutely incredible, isn't it? But why can't we look forward to it? Why can't we look forward to the new year? Do you know, things are starting to happen. Do you know, restrictions are still placed on us. We've still got to work hard. We've still got to keep doing whatever we absolutely can. Do you know, but like I said right at the start, we're still here. Do Do you know, for all those bad days, what impact has it had on us in the end? Do you know, how many times have we died from it? We haven't, do you know, because we're still here fighting another day, do you know, and that's what it's about. Let's attack this week. Let's give it a real go, do you know. Some people might start winding down for Christmas. There's no chance of me doing that, do you know. I know when I'm on top of it, when I'm attacking things, when I'm just falling forward. Something I hear a lot when I listen to these videos. If you're going to fall, make sure you fall forward. So when I'm falling forward, when I'm pushing on, you know, it gives me real purpose and intent to enjoy what I'm doing. And if I've got intent, I want to, and when I want to, it normally happens. Do you know, let's make it happen. Let's get out there. I'm going to finish my walk, go back. I'm still part of that running challenge, so I've got to do that a little later as well. So plenty of activity for me. Hopefully you can join me, you know, if not today, for that solidarity session, 6:30 tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Get those yellow t-shirts on. Whatever activity you choose, we'll be out there doing our thing, being a team, you know, being inclusive and just doing it. How could I get that bit wrong? But I did. Just another mistake.